Testing one, two, 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 two. Yeah. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy. Welcome to Phandemonium with the PH. Yeah, I mean, not for player hate, but we just keeping it real. I'm the host, Leaf Blanco. I'm here to, bring the fans to the sports and the sports to the fans. I'm bringing it to you Philadelphia style. As far as the my point of view and perspective. But we invite folks from all over, all different teams, and to join in on the conversation. I mean, the debates, the fun, the fandom. I mean, but yeah, this is a place where you could actually give your perspective and your point of view. I'm gonna reach out in live view, and also you could share and you could send in your perspective on what my takes and on some of your feeling about your teams and things such as that. But we about to get started. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a happy, joyous mood. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are back. I mean, football is back. I'm late. I'm on Philly time. Like I get here when I get here. I talk about it when I talk about it. But we gonna make this a normal daily occurrence. I mean, where I give you some insights on the new things going on and within sports and Philly and all throughout the takes and entertainment as well. So we gonna dive into it. But right now we gonna really get into the Eagles. I mean, we gonna get into the Eagles because the season has started. I'm already a week back, but as far as it's recording, but leading up to that game, I had a feeling. I had my predictions, and it was a lot of pushback from various folks, within the Eagles fan club, whatever, and outside of the NFC East, Deadskin fans, the Little Giants, and the Cowgirls. Matter of fact, I haven't really even heard from Cowboy fans in a while. Like they've been really invisible, quiet for quite some time. Uh, yeah, man. Thank God for great play over the years. I mean, Cowboys been neutralized as far as talking junk. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like I was not in on the Eagles the past Carson Wentz, time here. I was a Nick Folian, and I feel like Carson kind of he got gifted the job, and how we soon realized that he created the monster, and he corrected his mistakes. And like, listen, I was on this time. I'm the first one to say how we gotta go with Carson Wentz, but with this new regime that came in with Nick Sirianni, with Jalen Hurts, his pick before, with Doug. I love Dougie P. Oh my guy, Dougie P. And he basically went out with Carson, and that was all due to Howie. Like, is it Howie had to go or they had to go? And I guess Jeff Lurie chose his guy. Um, with that being said, I can say that the moves he has made since his grand mistake of you know getting Wentz, like we've been making, back to positive strides. But like when you tie yourself to an anchor, everything go down. I mean? I could breathe. No more Carson stench, Like, I mean? We don't got that weight, that negative energy. Like, I swear I was the biggest detractor. I'm like, yo, Foles don't fold. And he was just on the sideline with the stank face and just bad energy. And I just didn't see him succeeding. And when I would talk to, my compadres and, different media personalities, they would talk down on me and, you know, oh no, Carson Wentz is the future. And like, I was, said it first, like, I don't think so. Like, he has none of the intangibles, and I'm still, I still don't think he has it. I mean, and I guess Indiana will soon find out. Indianapolis will soon find out they're on one, and we here like, I mean, forget about Carson Wentz. I'm sorry, I'm traumatized. I've been traumatized for the past few years, but I was like, I didn't want to start talking about the Eagles from a negative standpoint. So I'm glad that we got Jalen Hurts in here, and now I can really with a positive, driven leader, I could see the real, we are going to see where our team really was. It wasn't so much that we had a bad team, we just had a bad quarterback, and this year is going to prove that. And so, let's get into it. Like, all right, so as you can see, I got the different. We got our man. That's Rager. That's Rager. Yeah, going in for the score. But essentially, it's like I was just thinking, like, man, we just got so much talent on our squad, and I'm looking at the division, all the different, the games that we gotta play, and it's like, from my fan perspective, I'm like, damn, we could really run through this joint. And from a real perspective, I'm like, damn, we could really do some damage on this joint. Like, in reality, when I'm speaking on it, I got, people like, no. I got Eagle fans telling me that they looking at this schedule and saying we could be 8-9. And I was making this prediction before, the Falcons game. But I'm like, no, we could be like 12-5, 13-4, like, from the looks of it, like, from what I see. And, like, that was my forecast. It had largely to do with, like, this belief that Jalen Hurts was the real thing. Like, for what I seen from him last year, people talking about the stats or whatever, or I don't know, win-loss. And I'm really big on win-loss and clutch, but he played good games. Like, we was at a point where our team wasn't really fighting. And our coach was, he even sabotaged his one game that he started and took him out. So it was like, he probably would have been 2-2 instead of 1-3. But what he showed in that time was the team was with him. And he had a leadership capability that I could identify with as being someone that could lead the team. And then in the offseason, we got Devontae, someone that he's familiar with. I'm like, oh, that's good vibes. And so, like, with a Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver, national championship quarterback with pedigree that has an underdog mentality. He was like never like, he already has that edge. He's not like looking for favors. He won his job. So, that's what I was liking about going into this year. And so that's why, but no, the more importantly, our D line and our O line, and them being stalwarts and being championship pedigree, them actually being in the Super Bowl, most of them are having that sort of like that pedigree and style, and our O line who's been there and stalwarts throughout. So, like, me going into making my prediction, I'm thinking like O line, D line. And, if we look at it, we're in the NFC least, I guess. That's what they would call it. And, like, when I look at that, I think, like, how we're actually stronger than what a lot of people would have thought. And you could tell by some of the, the prognosticators and some of the predictions. And we'll get into that other times where, I'm going to, bring in the prognosticators and, talk to them and about them. But we just gonna get into our these Philadelphia Eagles, man. And so basically what I set a record of 12-5, and that was just timid. But we're gonna actually go into each of the different games, and I could kind of talk about my idea and how we could kind of get to more than 12-5 and around 12-5, and how I came up to that, kind of like thinking. Like, I said it to, some Washington fans, like, oh, how you mean you won one game and you're already claiming Super Bowl? I'm like, no, it's not that I'm claiming the Super Bowl, it's that I'm just saying that we're contenders in our division, essentially. So if Dallas is going to get 11-12 wins, we're going to be right there. Our pedigree of player is similar. So even if we don't get number one, I'm thinking like, I'm looking at the Jones, and this what I was saying on play. I'm like, we could probably get number two, because one, the Redskins had no quarterback really. They had Fitzpatrick, and he's not a guy that I will identify as a person that's going to be able to win long term, or like or that's going to be able to get away from our defense. He might get away from some defenses, but our defense will probably eat him up. You know what I mean? He might get one game, but I feel like we got a good pulse on Fitzpatrick. And then Daniel Jones, that's, come on. And Saquon is like a bell back with no starter, and it's like, that's easy work. And then our challenge is Dallas, and with Dallas, I feel like we 50-50. I mean, they do got Dak, and they do have a plethora of wide receiver options, but I mean, those are just names, and we got defenders. And what it comes down to is, can their offensive line stop our defense from giving Dak a hard time? And I will lean towards our defensive line over anybody's offensive line over the course of 60 minutes. So, that's kind of like my prejudice on, like, our defensive line is tout. And that's part, like, the brand of it, and now they got to put in the work. But from what I've seen with the Falcons, I mean, defense is looking good. Defense is looking good. I didn't see Fletcher Cox get any action, as far as any plays, but we got the guy, we got the one guy, shucks. Hargrove. Oh man, he was good. He got like 2 sacks, 3 tackles. That's from the inside. So that's the type of work we need. We got BGZ out there. We got Kevon Wallace. We got a lot of different players. That's definitely gonna. Their name might not be known as far as like why, but their names will be known. They will be hitting. So I think we got a good team in our division, and I think like the way that this schedule is laid out, like, I mean, we got a competitive schedule, but only to the degree where it's going to be like a small testament of like how good are we. We got some good games. We got Kansas City week 4, we got Tampa Bay week 6, and then we got we'll see how the Raiders are, if they're real or not. Then we get the Chargers and the Lions and so forth like that. Then we get the Denver. Then we'll get to test out the Saints, who just ran through Green Bay this week 1. But see if Jameson is the real thing. See if they can carry on a Drew Brees legacy. And that might be one of the teams to watch out for. And they always been so the thing like, oh man, Saints again now with Jameis rather. That's gonna be a good one. And then you got the New York, and then you got the Jets, and you got division Washington, New York, Washington, Dallas. Like, I'm looking at this schedule like, oh man, this is a good schedule for us. Like, we could win this joint. Like, literally, I feel like we could win a lot of these games. So let's first off, let's talk a little bit about this Falcons game. Like, I call for us win. I call us for winning the first 3 games off break. Like, before the season started, like, we could win the first 3 games. But this Falcons game, playing this Falcons game, and this team was it got me to see exactly how we was gonna play, because I had no idea what type of offense or how we was gonna really attack. But we had Quez coming in early. Quez came in early with his play, and then we had Devontae. Oh, Devontae, his first catch of the game. What? His first catch of the game. He making touchdowns. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's the type of flow that we need. Like, and so that was beautiful. His first catch, and then we had Jalen Rager 6 for 6. With the short pass and quick pass, getting everything out your hands fast. So I'm like, bam, Sirianni see it. He understand it. And Carson wouldn't have had a job anyway. The way he play, he's like with the boy Brandon the boy from he used to be on, but he a slow blinker. If you like, Winston's a slow blinker. He thinks long and he reacts wrong. So with Jalen Hurts back there, he got him getting it out fast. Quez was the first one getting three. Had the first three passes to him, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see how we doing it. We keeping it up tempo fast, and that matched what Atlanta did in their first joint, and how they had our defense on the heels a little bit, but the way that our offense attacked, the way our defense rebounded and stopped them from getting in the end zone, I'm like, oh, that's Eagle football. Like, that's Eagle football. That's that Jim Johnson. You know what I mean? Rest in peace. I mean, that's that. We had coordinators from them that actually won the Super Bowl, but I forget. But I mean, that's Eagle football, and we got the quick, like the West Coast ish offense. But we got, when you look at the Eagles, I'm like, damn, what makes them special? We got two tight ends. We got two viable running backs. Gainwell, we got Miles Sanders, and then we got two or three rookie second year wide receivers who's a question. Like you have no idea what their potential is. And when I'm like last year under under the guy, the stench, it was like he couldn't pass to a wide receiver to save his life. And I don't know what his deal was, but he was not wide receiver friendly. And for some reason, wide receivers just didn't do well. But as you can see last night, everybody getting the ball. Jalen spreading everything around. Being real efficient, running the ball when he needed to, and when he didn't have to, and throwing the ball away, not taking any sacks. Man, we played an excellent game. To see Miles Sanders come in there and do his thing strong, then kind of elusive, and then you got Gainwell, who's so small, reminded me of Brian Westbrook a little bit, with his thing, but he was nimble, able to get through the hole and create scoring opportunities for himself too. So it was like everybody was downhill, and once we got a hold of ourselves, and once we stopped the first, once we stopped the first two scores from scoring, and we was able to get our feet back up under us, it was all she wrote. So that was a typical Eagle, win, dominant from the line down. And then as the game wore on, it got harder and harder for Matty Ice. Ooh yeah, that thing got real difficult. You know what I mean? So he started getting sacked more. O-line got tired. And so that's typically how we win games, and how I was like, all right, this is how I can see us winning. So then, let's look through the games. I'm like, all right, we got Falcons, San Fran, and Dallas. I'm like, those are winnable games. Like, I say those 3 W's because essentially, San Fran has a good team, and I think it will be a challenge, and it will be like a different level, like than the Falcons, I guess. I guess San Fran was like, they was in the NFC Championship a year, in the Super Bowl rather 2 years ago. So, they have some of that Super Bowl pedigree. Still DNA still there, and they got the Trey Lance effect, and so they should come with a little bit of dynamics, but they don't outmatch us as far as what I'm saying, as far as what our defense can provide, and our offense can provide. Like, they got Kittles, but we got Ertz, and we got Goddard, and their wide receivers aren't. Oh yeah, I guess Samuels, Debo Samuels actually had a good game, so we'll see. But so does Calvin. Really, he could have a good game. So Kyle Pitts. So it's any given Sunday, but I think we match up well, and I think that our offense is not sputtering. Like we're getting third down. We're converting on third downs, and so I see us winning that game in San Fran. So that's 2-0. And in Dallas, at home in Dallas, this will be a statement game, a game that nobody will expect. But that's our upset. That's the Eagles' upset right there. That's a game that's going to put the league on notice. That's where you're going to start to feel the bandwagoners are going to be like, oh, snap. The Eagles, they might be real. Jalen Hurts might be a real quarterback. Toe to toe with Dak Prescott. Oh my gosh, Jalen Hurts. Like this is gonna be the narrative, and I'm like, all right. I mean, so if we play the game that I think we could play based on what we played last week and what how I see our defense affecting them and just our ability to get to the end zone. Like we got two running backs that's shifty, that can catch, that can attack inside, and we got wide receivers that's going all over. They fast. Quez down that joint ready to split, and we got. I mean, so they gonna have to be real aware, and then we gonna drop one in the back on them. Like so, they better be aware of us. And I just think we team up real well against Dallas. And they got Michael Gallup hurt, and they got Lyle Anderson or whatever. He's out. You know what I mean, so for that game, they actually gonna be shorthanded, and barring any physical injuries on our behalf, we should come in as healthy as possible, and that's advantage Eagles. You know what I mean, so that's 3-0. And then here comes a challenge, a testament of, now the league gonna notice after Dallas. Now we going against Kansas City. Kansas City at 1 o'clock, CBS. So everybody gonna be watching that game, and essentially I think that game will be it's gonna be a close game. Like that's gonna be the game that's gonna put the league like, oh, these guys are really real. Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles for the undefeated spot. I mean, 3-0, the battle of the undefeated. I mean, so that's gonna be that game, and in that game, we gonna find out how real on the barometer we are as far as championship caliber. My intuition is telling me that we're still there. Like we was never far off, but it seemed that way when you had a bad leader. And that's all I was saying, like, yo, he's gonna make us look bad. He's gonna make us diminish in value. And we lost defenders because we had to pay Carson Wentz and things like that. So our team could actually be stronger if we would have went the other way. But sorry, back on track. I got the verse. But essentially, I'm thinking that against this Kansas City team, we have the opportunity to really show the league. And I think we will. And it's at home in Philadelphia. Like, what better chance than that? Like, what better opportunity than that to win? Still a game against Kansas City. Since it's one of the supposed undefeated teams that's going to make it through the league. And I see Kansas City as a flawed team. I mean, they definitely have their weapons. I mean, they got a tight end, and they got a wide receiver, and they got a quarterback, and they got one running back, sort of, kind of. So they got their weapons, but we got two tight ends, and our receivers, not Tyreek Hill, but we got a young boy, and we got another, they definitely got us beating, the wide receiver. But we could score just as much, and if we could shut Tyreek Hill down, we could somehow game plan against Tyreek Hill or Kelsey and shut them down from scoring, then that'd be the way that we do it. And if we could put pressure on Pat Mahomes to do something crazy, I think we really have a chance. How? But why not? These next couple weeks you're gonna. So once we beat a San Fran and a Dallas, you're gonna have the DNA to beat a Kansas City. You feel me? Because Dak can do similar things to Patrick Mahomes, and they got similar wide receivers. So as we're out there testing against 2 and 3 wide receivers, that can be potentially dangerous. When it comes down to a wide receiver, a main wide receiver, and a tight end, and a dynamic quarterback, we're gonna. I feel like we can have a good shootout, a good game, because we're the NFC East defense. In Kansas City, they play teams, but they don't play NFC East defenses all the time, But I know Reed's going to have a nice little game plan, but, we going to bring something different to the table. So I feel like when we do play Kansas City, we have an excellent opportunity as a team to win, like without a doubt. Like as a fan, I'm gonna give us that win. But you know, I would say that's our way of winning. But I mean, on like if to be to be a detractor, that could probably be the loss. You know what I mean, but like for me, I got us 4-0, but 3-1 to probably the masses will believe. And game four against or game five against the Carolina Panthers, like I definitely think we could be who is it? Matt Stafford? No, I don't know the one guy. The guy who used to play for the Jets. Like I definitely feel like we could beat the Carolina Panthers. Can't overlook them, but that's an easy one. So I'm saying 5-0, 4-1, 5-0. Then we got Tampa Bay and Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Now this will be the ultimate test, but right after we just went through Patrick Mahomes. So whatever we learn from Patrick Mahomes, we gonna apply to the Brady situation. So what I'm saying is, in this joint, if we lose the first one, we gonna win the second one. If we win the first one, we might win against Brady and the Bucks. If we beat Brady and the Bucks, and it's over. We are Super Bowl contenders, and the world would immediately jump on Philadelphia fans' cojones. Like right then and there, like Jalen Hurts is the next everything. I'm sorry, Carson Wentz is like how the media get. They get way over, and then they start knocking on heaven's door, and I'm like, nah, chill. We don't want y'all to bloviate us and get our heads big, and no, we good right where we at. Like you stay where you at from week 5. But once you get to that level, then they go and challenge you every weekend. But if we get through if we make it through 6 weeks, 6-0, that'd be a great season start. And that by no means means that we're Super Bowl ready. But that means we are definitely contenders, and we will be in the playoffs. And when we come to the game, like we gonna bring something. And that just and what that means is that Jalen Hurts is gonna keep improving day by day, game by game, and it's just gonna build the confidence. So if we get 6-0 by that point, it's nothing that no other team is going to be able to say. It's not going to be no sort of fear that we had throughout the rest of the John. So we go 6-0. We might end up 14-3. You know what I mean? Something like that. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, really, in my mind, I feel like there's a way to go 6-0. There is a way. There's a path to 6-0, and we got the personnel and team to do it. But for record's sake, just to throw some L's on the joint, because it might not. I really feel like we could get through them joints 5-1, 6-0. Like I'm putting it down. This is in stamp. But for the people say, let's say we get through that joint 4-2. Let's say we get through that joint 4-2, and we lost close games to the Kansas City and Buccaneers. Like we battled them. We like lost with a learning loss. You know what I mean? A moral victory, I guess. We had one of those, but I think we got them at home. We got the Bucks and Kansas City at home. We can win those. We definitely can win those. But we get through them Johns 5-1, 4-2. Then we got the Raiders. Like, dog, I don't care how many times you throw the Waller and all that. That's going to be a tough game. It's going to be in Vegas. But, no. Like, I think by that time, once we get to Vegas and we get to, that's going to be a close game. I really see the Raiders game being a close game. That could be one that might, after coming off the high of the Bucks, we might be spent. Like, really, though. Like, we might be spent. So, If we make it through that 6-0, we probably lose to the Raiders right afterwards. Like no cap. Like, so if I got us going five, like say we lose to Kansas City, then beat the Bucks, we gonna lose to the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, just because we gonna be on a high and something like that. So that's one joint we might slip and lose. We go to Vegas. You know what I mean? Stuff get crazy. So, like, even though I feel like we better than the Raiders, like, hands down, I'm going to get, we go from Florida to Vegas. Like, we've been on the road for, you know what I mean, since Carolina. We went from Carolina to Florida. Oh, that's at home. I don't know, man. Listen, that high that win, like, that's going to determine a lot. If we make it through that joint 6-0, or we beat that, or we beat either one of those teams, it's going to be, even if we come out of that joint 4-2, we going to be. If we come out of there 4-2, we going to beat the Raiders. We going to beat the Lions. We going to beat the Chargers. Like, I mean, I don't see what the Chargers got as like really being. That'll probably be a real close game. I can see the Chargers, doing something, but I think we got a better defense and a better offense than the Washington Redskins, to be quite frank. So I think we'll probably have a better, we'll beat them. So we say we 4-2 coming out of losing to Kansas City and the Bucks. We gonna take the next three. So now we 7-2. You know what I mean? Then we come to the Broncos and the Saints and New York and the Jets. All right, so then we win those three. Then we got the Broncos. I don't even think we should lose to the Broncos. Like, in no way, shape, or fashion should we lose to the Broncos in November. Might be cold, in Denver, but I'm like, man, listen. I'm saying, all right, that's three. Say we beat the Broncos. Let's just say we beat the Broncos and we come across the Saints and all right, we beat the Saints. We beat the Broncos, we beat the Saints. So we won 5 in a row. After we lost to the Bucks, we won 5 in a row. Then we come to New York, we win 6 in a row, 7 in a row. And let's say we lose to the Washington. Like, you know how we always do some shit. We lose the dumb games to the Washington. Like, and then then you got New York Giants, the Washington Redskins, and the Cowboys. Like, we gonna win. Like, I feel like we gonna close the season out with 4 wins, like 4 NFC East wins. Like, it's all right. It could be close. Like the Broncos game, who they got? Tyrod Taylor. Their running backs is like Melvin Gordon, like Jared Judy hurt. He hurt for a couple weeks. So by that time they done. Like we knocking off the Broncos. Saints. Let's say the Drew Brees-less Jameis Saints. They might be balling. They got Kamara still. So if we shut down Kamara and force Jameis out of the pocket, he might be more prone to throwing interceptions. So I'm like, that's our window. Like, even though that's a tough team, quote unquote, like, it really isn't that tough, especially after you play Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're going to have game plans that's going to be able to thwart any of these different teams. So I'm like, we good. Like, I feel like we could. I feel like we gonna win a lot of the games out of the division games. I feel like out of the division games is easy. Even though we got, let's say, 4 or 5 playoff contenders in that bracket, is AFC. It's the AFC. They not powerhouse. They not doing what we do. Yeah, you got Patrick Mahomes and but nah. I'm not convinced. And then you got the Lions and the Tigers and the Bears. Oh my, yeah, we're scared. But you got the Lions and you got the San Fran and you got that cast and crew, and then you got the Panthers. Like that did they all lose? No, they won. Panthers lost. I don't know, but yeah, man. Like, and you got the Saints. So the Saints won. So they, yeah. So I mean, that's a good division. I mean, the NFC South or something like that. I guess it is, or NFC West, NFC Central. But yeah, like I feel like we are like even though they call us the NFC least, I feel like that's the biggest misnomer. That's the that's 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 the misrepresentation of the Philadelphia Eagles right there. And the NFC least being represented as NFC least. Like we had last year was a bad year for the NFC, and I blame that on Carson Wentz. Like I do, I really with all my being, I blame that a lot on that on Carson Wentz, man. We'd have had Foles, or we would have had Hurts playing earlier. We probably could have salvaged more of that. I mean, but I'm glad it ended how it did. He gave up. Like he had no heart. So my prediction. All right, let's run through it. I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. So you see, like when I'm reading this, I got this one and everything. Like I got fan goggles on. I got Phandemonium out. Oh my god! But in reality, all right, I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna knock. I'm gonna be realistic. My realistic versus what I think. You know what I mean, so I'm gonna do 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 5-6, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2, 11-2. All right, man. Let's say we lose against the Saints. I say 10-3. All right, and then we go with like I can't do it. I can't 14-3. 14-4. I mean 14-3, 13-4. 12-5. That's where I'm at with it. Like I'm 12-5. That was my guess. Like, and that's not even. I can't even pick the losses. We gonna have a random loss. It's like two for sure. Like we got two tough games. I think we gonna upset a couple ones. That's why I just did 12-5 because looking at this jump, we might falter. We might have a week where we falter, brain lapse. You know what I mean, coaching or something like that. I'm not sure the coaching play calls on once they get our game plan. But I think we dynamic enough. I think if we use our tight ends, quick passes like that quick thinking thing. I like that. I like that whole thing. Then we got our running back. So if we utilize that, I mean, I'll just throw 5 losses in there, but I don't see it. Like people tell me 8-9, and I'm like, where you see 9 losses on this jump? 9 losses? This ain't Carson Stench, and that's what I was saying. Like when Carson was here, like I'm like, this is 5 and this is 6 in there. I mean, they're like, nah, man, nah. Now, just because he out is like they people fans is crazy. So, all right, fans, like so. What do you think? What's some of your thoughts on Eagles being at least 12-5? I got them going up 12-5 to 14-3, but 12-5. What's your thoughts on that number pick? Like, how would you rank the Eagles? I'm gonna go out there and ask the fans and get some Eagle fans perspective. But yeah, check in, subscribe, tune in to the dialogue. I'm actually give y'all a way to actually send in your videos that you can record on your private, and I'll just include them into the broadcast. So man, so thanks for checking out Phandemonium. You know what I mean? PH, where we don't play or hate, we just keep it real. You know what I mean? How you feel? It's Leaf Blanco, man. We out.